Let's say that, like me, you do sound mixing, video editing and a bit of gaming. When it comes to sound reproduction, what is best to have? Studio monitors or headphones? I ask myself that very same question this month. Before we delve into today's topic, I would like to say that this video is sponsored by no one. Or maybe I should say by my hard-earned cash. I like to think that I know a lot of things, but I'm a total ignorant when it comes to audio and sound reproduction. I decided to give myself a present for no good reason, and I asked myself, should I buy a pair of good speakers or some high-end headphones? These days, when you have a question, what do? Well, you turn to the internet. But I could not find a definitive answer. The general idea, or at least what I gathered, is the following. Number one, when it comes to audio, there is literally no limit to how much money you can spend, and I am sure that $1,000 headphones will always sound better than $100 speakers and vice versa. 2. Specifications or values that are important and you may want to consider are signal-to-noise ratio and frequency response, which is the spectrum of frequencies that speakers can reproduce. 3. Larger drivers are generally better than smaller ones. Sounds propagate through the air, so big speakers can move more air more efficiently and play lower frequencies. 4. It's best to have more dedicated drivers for different frequencies. In the case of headphones, you only have one driver per channel, and all sounds have to be generated by the same membrane. If you have 2 or even 3 drivers, like in fancier speaker designs, you have tweeters, woofers and subwoofers to take care of high, mid and low frequencies. 5. Some people argue that good speakers need to be matched by an appropriately soundproofed environment, so you don't have weird and distracting echoes. That's a pretty valid and fair point, but let's be realistic. I'm not making Hollywood movies here. Anyway, I looked around for products and I like to support local businesses, therefore when I can, I prefer to buy from a physical store rather than online. With a budget of around $200 and limited by what was available and in stock, it came down to 3-4 products. I compared the specs and I decided to go with this Edifier R1280DB. I have never done reviews nor unboxing videos, and this is just me sharing the excitement for what I think was a great purchase. In Australia, I could find these speakers for 129 kangaroo dollars, the equivalent of roughly 99 eagle dollars or 125 moose dollars. Prices are subject to change without prior notice due to currency fluctuations and may vary depending on which state you live, local taxes, special offers, discounts and so on. I cannot believe the bang for buck that I got from these. Like, I have been so upset with my most recent purchases. I bought a motherboard that came with no manual. Just few sheets of useless paper and notes in legalese. I'm not going to mention the brand, but we are talking about one of the largest manufacturers. Seriously though, how am I supposed to know how to install a motherboard without the pinout for the front panel? I even happened to buy a couple of cases that broke as soon as I took them out of their boxes. You cheap lowlife barf bags. So I guess I just needed a win, and these speakers, in my opinion, and for what they cost, are just great. They have the largest amount of inputs I've seen on a number of other models, even much more expensive ones. They have not one, but 2 RCA line-ins, optical, coaxial and Bluetooth inputs. Inside the box I found the manual, a cute little remote, and literally all the cables that you could possibly need. Even the fiber optic cable is included. And they come with 100% recycled and recyclable packaging, which is a bonus in my books and whoever cares about the environment. I like the black finish, although there's also another model with a more timbery one. The frequency response is 55 to 2000 Hz, which is not bad and a slight improvement compared to what I used so far. An entry-level pair of Sennheiser headphones. To take care of the high frequencies, there is a 13mm Silk Dome tweeter, and the bass unit is a generous 4-inch woofer. The controls are simple and are located on the right and powered speaker. Because of space restrictions and other reasons, I will have to swap the position of the two units. I did notice that fancier speakers have a dedicated switch to swap the left and right channel. These don't, but it's simple enough to achieve the same outcome by swapping the RCA connectors. In order to cycle through the different inputs, you just have to push the volume button, and there is a very useful LED that changes color to clearly indicate what is selected. Now, because you're watching this on your computer, tablet or smartphone, using your own set of sound reproduction devices, it's very hard to make you appreciate the difference between these speakers and my old headphones. But I can tell you that the bass sounds feel deep and full, and the stereo effect is more pronounced. I feel more immersed in the soundscape when I'm gaming, and I have a better appreciation of the finer details when mixing tracks or editing videos. Again, this is not a review and I haven't been paid by anyone. It's just my honest and unfiltered opinion on my latest purchase, and I do hope that you found it useful. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have my next video to edit. See you next time with an exciting episode of Meanwhile Up in the Air.